Yes, guys, and welcome to the Augsburg vs Sunderland match review, where Sunderland have just got themselves a lovely win away from home in Germany in the sunshine, a 0-0 and a goal from Habib Diarra, his first goal for the club. But before we do get into it, do us a favour, hit the like button for me, it's massively appreciated. Subscribe if you are new, there's still so many of you guys watching and you're not yet subscribed, and it's awful behaviour, but if you can, if you're enjoying the content, if you could hit the subscribe button, it'd be really, really appreciated. And if you'd like to become a channel member, that'd be just as appreciated as well. So getting into it, firstly, I just want to say that I apologise if this comes across a little bit rushed, but we do have some transfer news to discuss towards the end of the video, so hold out for that one. So we did take on Augsburg away from home, and to put into context, Augsburg, they're a good team. They're a good side. They're a high-level side, good quality opposition, which I keep on saying. I'm glad we're playing these teams. It'd be so much easier if we played, League One, League Two teams in pre-season, win 4-5-0, and all of a sudden the standard ups tenfold because we're playing in the Premier League. So I'm glad that we're playing these types of teams. Augsburg, I think they finished 11th or 12th last season in the Bundesliga. They've been there for 12, 13 years straight in the top division in Germany. And they're very much a part of the furniture and the fabric of the Bundesliga. So it's good opposition for us to play. And I was largely impressed with what I saw today. So with the lineup, I'm going to say straight off the bat, by the way, because I saw a few rumours last night flying around regarding Enzo Lefebvre, who wasn't included today. There was these rumours saying, because he didn't join the team today, he's not playing today, that means he's unhappy and he's leaving. It's bollocks. Don't read everything and, people just stirring the pot for no reason. I can see exactly what Regis is doing here. Of course, he wanted to give 90 minutes, or he wants to give 90 minutes to as many players as possible before we do start the season. It's good to get 90 minutes in the legs. And if Lefebvre wasn't going to start today in this game, of course, he wanted to start with Sadiki, Jacques and Diarra. If Lefebvre was just on the bench and came on for the last 20 minutes, he's not... Do you know what I mean? He's not going to get the minutes that he needs before going into the Premier League season against West Ham next weekend. So I totally understand that. So I'm expecting to see 90 minutes of Enzo Lefebvre tomorrow against Rayo Vallecano. Of course, we have another side that are going to be playing tomorrow as well. But in terms of this 11, we do have Roofs in goal, Ronaldo playing at left back finally, which is what I've been asking for. We had Sealt returning to the 11 with Ballard in the middle, Hume on the right. Then we have that trio, like I mentioned, Sadiki, Jacques and Diarra. On the right, we had Talbi, Adingra on the left, and Mayenda up top. Now, getting into the game, I think, particularly the first half, we were largely the best side in it. I think Augsburg, very clearly, just from what I'm getting from this game, they're very much a possession-based side. When they do have the ball, it's largely walking football. There's very little tempo to their game. They have a good press, but on the ball, they just keep hold of it. And a lot of their attacks and their movements going forward, it all came from the wing. Just putting balls into the box, and that's the only negative I can really say from our performance today. Not necessarily a negative, but a little bit of an issue that I was seeing. It was just the amount of crosses that we allowed to come into the box. I felt like a lot of the crosses came in, they could have been stopped. I wish we just got a little bit tighter. It looked like they were almost instructed to just kind of back away, allow the crosses to come in, and we'll deal with it, which of course we did. But if you keep inviting crosses as much as we did today, particularly in the Premier League, we could be made to pay for it. Which of course today we weren't made to pay for it, which is obviously great. But by and large, like defensively, we look fantastic. Sealt and Ballard, as usual, they look solid. Sealt, for me, I think over the course of pre-season, he looks like he does have something about him. I know a lot of people said maybe send him out on loan, which might be the right way to go. But I don't think he'd be the worst squad player to have. Unless as long as he keeps his fitness up and he keeps away from injury, I don't think he'd be the worst player in the world. He's always very good, collect on the ball for a big lad. I think tactically, in positionally, he looks really good. So yeah, I wouldn't be mad about him, keeping his place on the bench and just coming in as and when needed in the Premier League. I wouldn't be opposed to that whatsoever. But anyway, getting into the game, the midfield trio, as usual, I think they're fantastic, really solid, really compact. They know what they're doing. They knew the job. Sadiqi's running his legs off. Jacques is picking it up off the back line and bringing us forward. Diarra's doing the running in behind and getting involved, and he's pressing when Mayenda up top as well. And early doors, Adingra did get a chance down the left-hand side, pulls it across goal, but there was no one there. But then we did get the goal, and Habib Diarra scores an absolute beauty. I love this goal. So a lovely intricate passing around the edge of the box. Jacques it into a dinger. He dummies his man, rolls it off to Diarra, who he didn't, because it was in such close quarters because they were so tight on us. It's not like Diarra had much of a run up to run onto the ball and then just smash it. He literally had like one step and then he's just drilled it into the bottom left hand corner. Beautiful finish, absolutely fantastic. And then the stream died, as it did for everyone. The stream died, so I quickly looked on Twitter to see what's going on. The second the stream died, it said Mayenda's got a penalty, and he skies it. And of course, since then I've seen what happened. Ronaldo, really good overlapping football with Adingra, gets him behind, and the man just absolutely swipes at Ronaldo, gets the penalty, and then Mayenda, he just absolutely launches it way over the bar. It was an absolutely horrendous penalty. And what's crazy as well, I think if you have a look at the stats in this game, with Mayenda, he's missed a penalty. He missed a really good chance in the first half, one on the keeper, albeit a very tight angle, and he's hit it straight at him. Second half, he's missed an absolute sitter with just a couple of minutes left. It was pulled back to him by Tutorov, and he's absolutely scuffed it, made an absolute mess of it. It makes it look like he's had an absolute nightmare, but he was really lively, which I want to see. I don't want to see Mayenda just walking across the back line and looking disinterested. He was coming deep for it and then flicking it around his man and going the other way and driving us forward, and he was doing that a lot, and he looked very, very dangerous. So I liked that version of Mayenda. However, the end product was awful today, sadly, of course. But you get that with Mayenda. It's a roll of the dice, isn't it, with what you're going to get with his end product sometimes. But it was good to see him getting involved as much as he was. But yeah, so first off, we did control the game largely. We made some really good chances. And then they get themselves a penalty as well. And it was never in a million years a penalty. The man for Augsburg, he wriggles his way into the box. It is, again, very close quarters. We're really tight on him. He's already kind of semi-falling over. And then we just kind of nick the ball away from him, get it away. He goes to ground and the ref gives a penalty. But then Roofs, who had an outstanding game, by the way. Not that he had a ton of saves to make, but in terms of claiming crosses, he made a great save as well in the early doors of that second half where they had a header and he's had to go across goal and claw it away. Not just claw it away, but away from danger with a really strong gun. Outstanding save. He did save the penalty. It wasn't the greatest of penalties in the world, but he's guessed the right way, and we've managed to clear it. So fantastic from him. I'm really liking what I'm seeing with Roofs. He's good on the ball. His distribution looks good. He's calm, collected, and you need that presence from a back line. Because if you've got a shaky keeper, and that, of course, that isn't a dig at Pato, but for any team, if you have a shaky keeper, it instills this sort of almost nervousness around the back line, and he just looks so assured and reliable. And those are just two of the most perfect words you could want from a goalkeeper. Do you know what I mean? Second half, it was Augsburg who were just dominating possession, but again on the break we looked really good. Adingra was looking really dangerous. Again, with Adingra, it is a case of maybe it is his choice making before he'll take on one man, take on another. Then you can see someone to give it to, and he might do a little bit too much. But I feel like his crosses looked a little bit more assured today. It weren't just a case of taking on one man and just twatting it for the sake of it because you've took on your man, you've got it to the byline. It looked like he was really sort of composed in his crossing, although it didn't quite make certain plays. But if that makes sense anyway, it just didn't look so panicked as it has done in recent weeks. So maybe that's something that's slowly getting instilled in him. Talby, again, I'm not going to sit here and say he's absolutely incredible, but because I keep on saying with Talby, looks like a player who has bags of potential, but he's going to take a long time to bed in, and that's why I keep on saying we might need another winger. But Talby looked decent today. He had a good chance in that second half as well. Lovely interchanging play. I think it was with Jacques or Diarra. I can't remember which one. And he smashed it on low cross goal, and the keeper makes a good save. But what I do like about Talby, and this is the sort of almost trademark move that I was seeing in the compilations before we signed him. When he puts his foot on the ball, it's an absolute dead ball, and then just a burst of acceleration, which defenders can't deal with, because when you accelerate so quickly from a stop-in position, it's so hard to quickly adjust your body and deal with him. And he did it a few times today. Don't get me wrong, there was sort of like 50-50 times where he'll get the ball on the right-hand side, and I'm just begging for him to get at his man, but he'll put his foot on the ball and go backwards. But then sometimes he was putting his foot on the ball, and then you just drive forward, a quick burst of acceleration, taking on his man, cutting inside, and I like to see that. So we're getting there with him, but I just think it is going to take time. As I say, Siddiqui, so I think it was about 7 or 8 minutes left. He had to come off. He was holding his ankle. From the close-ups, from the footage, it looked like he was pointing at his heel. I could be wrong there. But hopefully that's nothing. It's just a bit of a contact injury, and then it goes away after a couple of days, because he just covers every blade of grass. There was one point in that game where he's ran some distance with the ball, wriggling away, and he's tried to play it off to the left-hand side. It didn't find a dingerer, so he's gone after it himself, and he's kept the ball in play. So he just doesn't stop running, which it sounds like it's almost such an unflattering thing to say, but the engine he's got on him, it is just mental. But yeah, we saw the game out, really decent run out, and good to see Diarra get himself on the scoreline as well, get on the score sheet. So yeah, I'll take it. It's a win. And I think on another day, if we took chances that we made in the first half in particular, that could have been 3 or 4-0. But you could say on the flip side, they had a penalty. Roos made a good save. But yeah, it was just a really good competitive game of football. And it was almost like tactical chess at times because they were playing at such a slow tempo off the ball, so we had to be really patient, and I think it's a good reflection of what we're going to see in the Premier League. We're going to allow teams possession, and we just need to be ready and clinical when we do have the opportunities, which today, of course, Joe got the goal, but on another day, if Miranda took his chances, we'd be flying. Do you know what I mean? So yeah, loads of positives to take from that game. Now, to the transfer news. So, as the game was going on, there was a load of reports from particularly sort of European outlets, but now it's kind of filtering through to the English press, that Sunderland are on the verge of signing Getafe centre-back Omar Alderete, centre-back for Getafe, as I say. Again, it's another one of these players. It's going to be like that with a lot of teams, with a lot of players we're linked with. I don't know loads about him. I've just done a little bit of research. Currently playing his trade with Getafe. He's been there for the last 2 or 3 years. Prior to that, he was at Valencia. He's a regular for his international side, Paraguay. Watched a bit of a compilation, and I know that I say this quite a lot. I know with compilations, they're always just going to show the best bits. That's the whole point of a compilation, so I can only glean little bits of characteristics. You know, I can show you a compilation of Paveda and he looks like he's the next coming of Lionel Messi. Do you know what I mean? But that doesn't tell the full story. But with with this lad, he looks like he loves a challenge, very aggressive. He's left-footed as well, looks decent and composed on the ball. He's 28 years of age, a ton of experience. I think he's 6'2", so he's not quite the 6'5" gigantor that I do love, but big enough lad, very aggressive, as I say, so he has that natural leadership because he has all of those qualities, it seems. Loves a sliding challenge, and in those compilations as well, there was a good couple of goals that were absolute thunder bastards, and you know that I love a thunder bastard on this channel, but it looks like we're about to sign him for a rumoured fee of around 12 million quid, which I think if you said that, 6 months ago, 12 million quid, I would think, Jesus, he must be incredible. That's a lot of money, but now in the context of the way we've been buying players, it seems very cheap, doesn't it? 12 million quid or 12 million euros, however it is. It might be 10 million with 2 million add-ons or something, I'm not too sure, but that's one to keep an eye on, and I'd absolutely be a welcome addition. Loads of experience at the top level. So yeah, that is something that looks like it's going to happen. It is starting to filter through to the English press now, as I say. But yeah, that is everything, guys. The review of the game. Let me know what you think. Did you watch the game? What did you think of the game? I hope my ender doesn't kick himself too much. But like I said, I'm going to be totally fair. He looks so lively, and that's the mind I like to see, albeit he did miss a handful of sitters, didn't he? But either way, that's it, guys. What do you think of the potential signing of the Getafe centre-back as well? You might know more about him than I do. I believe he was actually in the La Liga team of the season last year as well, in a team that was largely dominated by Barcelona and Real Madrid players, as you'd expect. So that's another thing to keep in mind as well. So must be a good player. But we'll see. I forgot to say Jacques, because I was rushing so much. Jacques actually had a free kick on the edge of the box in that second half. An absolute thunder bastard, which just rocketed off the woodwork. So Jacques nearly got himself a first goal, and that would have been a lovely goal to score as well, right on the edge of the right-hand side of the box. But yeah, so that is everything, guys. Bloody hell, I'm making a right mess of this, aren't I? If you've enjoyed, hit the like button for me. Subscribe if you're new. But for now, how are the lads? Keep the faith.